Picking your countertop material is one of the most important decisions when renovating your kitchen. I can tell you that the market offers so many options and it's very easy to get confused. What I've noticed though, that there isn't one material that is perfect for everyone's lifestyle, budget, and taste. So before I'll bring you with me with this journey, analyzing the pros and cons for each option, I want to tell you this: do yourself a favor because it will make your life much, much easier. Always fall in love with your cabinet doors first. Make sure that you know what color and style you're using. It will help you when picking your countertop. We will talk about laminate, solid surfaces like Corian. We'll talk about wood. We'll talk about natural stone, quartz, and finally porcelain. But we will not go deep into scientific terms. We will explore enough to understand if that specific material is good for you. Let's start with laminate. If when I say laminate countertop, you're picturing your grandparents' kitchen, please think again, because the high definition printing technology available nowadays makes laminate countertop look like real wood, real stone, real concrete. However, the two big limitations that laminate countertops have are the usual: the poor water resistance and poor heat resistance. Yes, it is a very affordable material. However, one thing people don't talk about: the high installation cost. You still need two visits, the measuring and then the technician has to install it. So if you compare a laminate countertop installation cost versus an entry-level quartz, you'll notice that the difference in money, it's very minimal. So where is a good situation to use laminate countertop? The best situation is obviously, like I said, cottage, low budget rentals, but mainly for do-it-yourselfers. If you are taking care of the project yourself, you are completely cutting the installation cost, and the laminate countertop becomes an amazing solution. So there is still market for it, but overall, many kitchen contractors don't even offer that option. They don't even have displays in their showroom. So there must be a reason for that. So it's still a good option. You just need to understand where to use it, because the truth is that it adds basically zero value to your house when you're putting it on the market. Nobody will appreciate a new laminate countertop, especially when they compare it with quartz. Solid surface, like the no-name Corian, introduced by DuPont at the beginning of the 70s, was meant to conquer the kitchen cabinet industry, but it didn't. It ended up being way more popular in hospitals, school, and hotels. Corian is a fantastic surface because it's basically seamless. Every seam becomes invisible. It's very easy to repair when you scratch it, but on the other hand, it's very easy to scratch too, and has very poor heat resistance. The perceived value, it's really interesting because some people perceive it like a stone and some say that it has this fake plasticky look. The material is made 1/3 by acrylic resins and 2/3 by natural minerals. So the cost basically comparable with quartz. Again, it's a great solution for people that really are obsessed with the seamless look. Many colors are available. It's not super popular, but it's something that can work for you. Wood or butcher block countertop. You're either a super disciplined, passionate homeowner or a crazy one if you decide to put wood countertop everywhere in your kitchen. Wood requires a lot of attention, a lot of maintenance, and if you don't take care of it, it will look like garbage in no time. There's two different types of wood countertop. The one with the horizontal grain, called end grain if we want to be technical, it requires less maintenance because the surface is more compact than the other option, the edge grain or vertical grain, which is more porous and more expensive. Wood adds a lot of character to your kitchen. There is no doubt. But again, I'm going to say it again, you need a special type of homeowner to make it a successful decision. Perceived value? Not really. It's probably very low because a lot of people know that wood requires a lot of maintenance. What I recommend, if you're really passionate about wood countertop, just get it for your island. Get a massive, thick butcher block, maybe vertical grain that you know you're going to beat up, and you're going to do it intentionally. And you will add a lot of character to your kitchen. Natural stone, granite, quartzite, marble, they all come from earth. And they offer an unlimited amount of colors and movements, really an infinite amount. The resistance to heat is great in all of them. Resistance to stain changes. However, it's mandatory to seal it every year if you want it to look good forever. Granite is the workhorse of all. It comes in so many different colors and movements. It can take a lot of beating. Then we have quartzite. It's probably the most elegant, especially with its unique movements. Marble is the most porous of all, and it tends to form like a natural film through the years. But you need to accept the fact that it can stain very easily. Perceived value, immense, especially if you combine it with the right cabinet door. One thing to remember, never ever pick your natural stone countertop from a small sample. You always need to look at the entire slab. Quartz, the most popular product. It's an engineered stone basically made by natural quartz, resins, and pigments. It comes in different colors. So many, probably too many options. And there are many brands that compete in this huge market. Now, the resistance to stain is pretty good, most likely better than the natural stone. However, the performance changes according to the brand. And talking about brands, there's few North American and European, and then there is the rest of the world. The difference in quality between the North Americans and the European and the rest of the world, it's pretty substantial. So be careful and don't fall in love too much with the low price. Make sure you know what you're buying. Let's make sure this is clear though. Quartz is not that good with heat, so avoid challenging it. Quartz is an amazing product. That's why it's the most popular. It protrudes a lot of value. It is maintenance free from owners that don't want headaches. And mainly when you pick it, most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, you can pick it from a small sample and you don't have to go around warehouse to warehouse. Porcelain. It's basically an engineered ceramic product manufactured at high pressure and extremely high temperature. Porcelain is unbeatable. Resistance to heat, scratch, stain, and UV rays is the best in the industry. There's no other materials that can beat it. That's why it was designed for outdoor kitchens and then made its way inside too. It's getting more and more popular in North America, and it's way more popular in Europe. There's two drawbacks. One, the color, the pattern, the vein don't go through the core of the material. So when you have your undermounted sink, you will not see those veins going through the edge. The edge will be basically monochromatic. The other drawback is the chipping. It's very easy to chip if you hit it with the right strength on the edge. Not only, the other problem is it's very hard to repair because it's so brittle. Beside these two things, it's an amazing option. It's slightly more expensive on average than quartz. And I expect that it'll become more and more popular. Before we conclude, I want to talk about price. We know the laminate countertops are quite affordable. What about wood? It could be fairly affordable, but if you opt for the actual exotic wood species and the vertical grain, it can get quite expensive. Natural stone and engineered stone are pretty interesting to understand. So how the price works. There's different price levels, but the dynamic behind the price levels, it's completely different. Let me explain better. Natural stone, the price is dictated by the availability and the demand of that particular stone. On the engineered stone, like quartz and porcelain, It's more how hard it is to get that particular color, how much energy and labor and resins I need to achieve that pattern. That will dictate the price and obviously the demand too. I want to leave you with one message. When you're picking your countertop, focus first on the material that you want, the material that works for your lifestyle and your budget and what do you hope to do with your property. Once you have established what works for you, then you pick your color according to your taste and according to your budget.